Rumble, 2-1 started to show.
Also still stands for 5. No. Offender in custody.
Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, it doesn't skip and get choppy like it did earlier today. It won't be until tomorrow, until the internet people come out tomorrow morning, until the internet people come out and try to fix it again. We'll see what happens. My faith is not too high right now. So, yeah. That's why this morning it was just The internet was all over the place. It was buggy as shit. StreamYard wasn't even registering things. Screens weren't switching. And it really took forever just to get through anything. So I just said, you know what? We'll just scrap it. So I'm back tonight, hopefully. Was acting up a few minutes before I started the show, and I was like, oh, great, here we go. But I don't know, everything seems okay so far, so let me know if it ever does, and I'll hurry up and switch it to the mobile hotspot, and we'll go ahead and finish it. So I want to say what's up to everybody, and then we'll go ahead and get into the show. I'll be hanging out with law offices of Andrew D. Myers and Laney Law tomorrow. Hopefully, the other gentleman's on there too. If not, it's going to be I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited, and it's an honor. Like I was saying before, ever since they came in and started doing their shows, automatically coming in as a pillar of the true crime community. So I want to say thank you to them for extending the opportunity to be a guest, and definitely looking forward to it. And I know the whole community is too, and I can't wait. They're just really amazing people, and I know that it's going to be something that it's going to be something special. So shout out to them. We got Harsh's Live coming out tomorrow. Put out a community post earlier. I will share that here in a second. So definitely go shoot a like and leave a little comment on the community post for Harsh. Let me see here. I'll go ahead and... Oh, now, isn't that crazy? Now it won't share as a link. It did earlier. That's why I was saying earlier when I did it, I was like, wow, this is crazy. It never allows you to share a link. Here we go. Ah, that's how you do it. Here you go. There's that link. All right, we'll go ahead and say what's up to everybody, and then we'll get into the show. We were talking about the Dr. Morse stuff and Dr. Drake or something earlier today. Not sure if we'll get into that tonight, but maybe in a future episode. But I did see that Truth and Transparency had quite a few shows on it. So I was like, holy shit. I hadn't seen those ones yet. Shout out Truth and Transparency. Bianca, thank you. Ticket number 2. Appreciate that. Ticket number 4, number 3 if it's still sticking. Lynn, CJ, read the sport comments. Oh, thank you so much. Proud to be in this. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Lynn. I appreciate that. What's up, Cindy? What's up? Miley, ticket number 6. Katrina. Ooh, Katrina got ticket number 1. Damn. Bianca. What's up, Kelly? Mark and Betty, ticket number 11. Kib Kitty, what's up? Sandy Toast, ticket number 12. I think I'm 16. It went from 12 to 16, so I'll take 16. There you go. Take them all if you want, right? Take 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What's up, Medicated? How are you? Mama 5. Caddy, what's up? Yeah, I put out that highlight a little bit ago. 49er girl, ticket number 18. Aw. Oh, I hope you get to feeling better. Oh, man. Prayers, everybody. Yeah, everybody. Like, a lot of people are sick. That's... What's up, Sandy? Yeah, prayers, everybody. Shit. Yeah, for real, 49er girl. And don't worry, Caddy. That's not complaining. We appreciate you. What's up, Yoli? I would love to have Andrew D. Myers and Lainey Law over here sometime, and we have Yoli on with us. I think that'd be a great show. What's up, Nina? My internet playing up too. Ugh. Yeah, it's yeah, I'll be going on their show tomorrow. They so I'm gonna be having the cable company out tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow early afternoon I'll be going to hang out with them. What they do is they when I come out it's StreamYard, so I'll get a link for a StreamYard, and then we'll hang out for a while, and then they're gonna record, and then they do an edit, and then they post the video. So it's gonna be a pre-record, so I don't know if it's gonna be coming out. It'll probably be coming out the next day, I would imagine. So I'll be going to hang out there tomorrow early afternoon, and then I don't know, I'm thinking maybe the video probably won't come out until Thursday morning maybe or something. It's an honor. Like, they are so awesome. And they have a new video today too, and we can check that out too. I was gonna check out a couple fresh note, old note nuggets, and then kind of let you guys decide on what you guys wanted to do after that. D. Marie, what's up? What's up, Judgmental? Thank you for all your hard work over there on Twitter too, Judgmental. Appreciate that. KW10, what's up? Don't forget, we got our OJ25 members only Sunday, 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, and then the previous OJ members only for everybody Sunday night, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. We got episode 3 for the live Sunday during the day, and then episode 2 for everybody Sunday night. I'm so ready. We're gonna have to have some of these holiday weekends where maybe I do like 2 OJ members only in a row or something. I don't know. Because man, after we get done with them OJ episodes, as soon as I'm done with that one, I'm like, man, I can't wait till the next one, you know? I really can't. What's up, Shazza? How you doing? I really can't. What's up, Nevada? Ticket number 28. Nah, not if you're... You guys are crazy. All right, let me share this harsh post real quick. Very important live coming out tomorrow, everybody, and you definitely don't want to miss it. All right, so here is the link to this again. Definitely go hit the like on it, get it out there. Steve G. Oh, here goes the internet. Oh man, here we go. Let me know if it messes up, okay? What's up, Kaleidohope? Yeah, let me know if it's messing up. I just saw the numbers go. Oh, I hope they fix it tomorrow. This is crazy. But anyway, he has spoken with Steve G briefly and said that he made some incredibly interesting statements. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing what he has to say. And I'm definitely going to support it, whatever it is. So whatever it is, I'm definitely going to support it 150%. That we've supported Steve G 150 the show, whether it was in the beginning of the case when he continued to tell everybody stuff that they needed to hear. You know, he is just trying to be a dad, trying to make sure his daughter and his daughter's best friend and the other victims and families have justice. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Always had 150%, even when there was people out there trying to trash on them. Like, come on, get real, give it up. What if it was you? If that was your child, damn straight. I applaud patience because I don't know if I could be as hesitant as he was and is. You know, I applaud. I applaud his patience. You know, I have a lot of people, uh, you know, just tell me, you know, how amazed they are of how patient a person I am, and it's like, shit, that dude is patient. You know. What's up, Gannon? How you doing? StreamYard's bugging and it's not showing the comments. Come on. So let me know if it's fucking up, everybody, and I'll switch to the mobile hotspot. What's up, detective? You think so, Lynn? I don't know. I'm not gonna. If it's negative, you know, hey, it's negative. It's negative. You gotta, you gotta respect Steve G no matter what. You gotta respect Steve G no matter what. You know. So if he, you know, whatever, like even whatever it is, I'm ready. I'm ready for this live from Harsh. I'm excited he's gonna do a live. That's awesome that Steve G reached out to him. You know, Steve Katsofis. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, who said it could be negative? It could be positive. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, who knows? We'll see. I'm excited. I can't wait. You know, they don't speak too often, and when they do, it's, you know, like hell. When we watched the last special they were on for CBS, you could do nothing but break for the, you know, your heartbreak. Innocent until proven guilty. You know what I'm saying? I know that some people are gonna think that you know, dude's guilty as shit. Totally get it. Even when I went out there, I had students in WSU like, he's guilty as shit. Well, okay. You know? Okay. You know, like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But it doesn't mean that I'm. Even the lady on the plane that I was sitting next to on the flight out there, she was from Spokane. She was like, he's guilty as hell. He's so guilty. I was like, wow, that's cool. We had, I mean, trust me, I was next to her on a flight for like, what, 4 hours or something, you know? We had a great conversation at the end. She became a sub. Shout out to you. At the end, she became a sub, had a great conversation. You know what I mean? It's, you can agree to disagree and it still be totally beautiful, you know? She just she came from the perspective, or yeah, he's guilty as shit. All right, I got, okay, you know. Who am I to say he's not? You know, all I'm saying is innocent until guilty. I'm not saying who knows? I don't know. I'm not. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. You know, I'm just gonna question the stuff that has to be questioned. That's all. There's nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, hold on here. Let me see. What was I? The internet screwed everything up today. All right. So this was an old notes nugget. There's actually a couple of them I wanted to get to. I'll let you guys decide. I'll let you guys decide because I was going to let you guys decide earlier and it didn't work out. All right. Do you want to watch Court TV Vinny, old nugget from, let me see. This is Court TV Vinny, old nugget from January 9th, talking about where did he go? You know, four days after the PCA came out. Or there was an old nugget of King 5 Seattle, which is like a local TV station. And they did a like a special that was done, and this was done back in February 19th. So this is still, you have the King 5 Seattle local TV station special about Idaho4, and this is still in the midst of when all the PCA just came out. Everybody's like watching Court TV and News Nation and watching all of these connections being made and all of this, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is when MSM was really starting to pump. Or you got the Court TV Vinny from 4 days after the PCA came out discussing. And we'll watch both of them. But which one do you guys want to watch first? We'll watch both of them, but which one do you want to watch first? Yeah, I can't imagine that pain either. Which is the oldest? Vinny. The Court TV Vinny came out 4 days after the PCA came out. So January 9th. And then the King 5 Seattle came out February 16th, but that's when MSM was like really, that's when everybody was going into overdrive when King 5 Seattle did their special. Because, and the reason I wanted to play that special old nugget tonight was because with it being a local TV station, okay, they're going to look at things a certain way already, right? Because they were one of the local stations that was getting shut out when they were trying to figure out stuff. But then you got the MSM influence mixed in with the local media. So I thought that would be a really interesting mixture because you're not only getting the MSM, but you're getting the local media, which I appreciate the local media a hell of a lot more than I do MSM. And so I think you're going to get an interesting mixture with that one. So I was going to leave it up to you guys, but we're going to do both of them. King 5. Yeah, for real. I wouldn't mind using the 5G. Oh, it's all good, detective. What's up, Mishy girl? In this particular case, we have every right to say right. Anybody. Come on, StreamYard. You know what's irritating as fuck is this. One second. This internet connection. See what I'm saying? This internet connect. I ain't bullshitting. This internet connection's fucked. Talk about ear. All right, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, everybody. Come on, StreamYard. Well, it's not StreamYard. It's the internet. That's what it is. Give me 1 second. This is ridiculous. All right, hopefully better. Give me 1 second. I just went to frickin' mobile hotspot. Let's just hope it's fixed tomorrow. I don't know. This is crazy though. And you know what's really crazy is you really only need like 25 megabytes of speed to do a freaking show. You know what I'm saying? and I'm supposed to have 1 gig speed now. I upgraded. I don't upgraded to 1 gig. You don't even need 25 to play a freaking game. Come on. All right. So let me see what you guys want. Hold on. Do you guys want Vinny or local? Return of the Mac, Vinny. I don't really watch GH, honestly. I did a couple times a long time ago. I don't know. We're just on different vibes. Not that I mean, I think he does good work. I think he does really good work, actually. Like the videos that he makes and the editing and all that. That dude's. I think he's one of the fucking best, honestly. I never. Yeah. I never watch it though. I mean, I get the big boot out sometimes, you know what I mean? But it's Harsh was on a rant. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you guys in the beginning of tonight's show. Is like, this is crazy. We were talking about it this morning. It's been damn near 2 weeks now. You know, it's been damn near 2 weeks. That's why I'm losing confidence. Like, I was saying this morning, I want there to be a shit ton of documents dropped. I want it to, I want the trial to start. Because ultimately, that helps the families get to the next phase. The next phase is after the trial phase, Like, they need to get, when you watch the latest interview, and you saw how, like, it was haunting Christy G, it's like, come on. Do I think, like, with this quietness? No, I don't think there's. Hell, I just dropped another highlight video a little bit ago. Do I hope? Hell yeah. I want this trial to start. I want the trial to be done with. I want the person that did this crime to be convicted and, get that way. Let the families get to the phase where it's after the trial phase, Like, let them get to the damn phase. And the reason that there's the innocent and the stuff that we talk about here is talked about is because it's about getting to that phase. Because think about it. What if the wrong person's convicted? Do they really get to that phase? No. They really don't get to that phase. If the wrong person's convicted, you probably never get past that phase. If it's up to other individuals over here, this guy, if it's up to other individuals to make sure that the right person is, hey, that's their job. I hope there's a huge document dump. But the fact that we ain't heard nothing for 2 weeks, I don't know. I've already said it before. The whole time, they're not going to say anything different. They never will. They're going to continue to say the same shit. You're going to get a bunch of papers with a redacted stamp on it. Where do you go from there? What's up, typically? Where do you go from there? What's up, Aunt B? But really, where do you go? Yeah, everybody could be like, yeah, let's convict this person no matter what. Let's get quick convicted. But next phase, yeah, but if it's the wrong person, talk to the families that have had a horrible crime happen and the wrong person gets convicted and ask them. Ask them if they've moved on to that phase, and I guarantee you they'll tell you no. In fact, they probably never will move out of that phase, because if the wrong person was convicted, the chance that the right person is going to be convicted is very slim at that point. Very slim. So did you truly move past? No. Moving past that phase is the right person or people being convicted for the crime. That is getting to that phase as quick as possible. I think he's stuck too. I think he's stuck with going, it's a bunch of redacted papers. And Ann Taylor's going to look at the papers that she gets and she's going to be like, well, this is okay. What else am I supposed to say except the same thing that I said at the last court hearing? These reports are incomplete. They're incomplete. You know what I was thinking, judgmental? I was thinking that's when I was thinking they were gonna I was thinking 12:30 they were gonna tear the house down. I have a good feeling this house is gonna be torn down. I have a good feeling this house is gonna be torn down in the next couple weeks. We're gonna wake up one day. We're gonna wake up one day and all of a sudden there's a bunch of machines there. And there's news reporters showing up and there's people showing up and they're recording the frickin' construction equipment tearing down the fucking house. Cause when I was there, and I didn't think about it at the time, okay? Remember when I was doing a show, if you guys were with me when I was doing my live shows out there, when I was out in Pullman, Moscow. Do you guys remember when I was doing my show and I told you that the last day that I was there, it was either that night or the next day we had a show, and I told you guys that I kept hearing a saw and a hammer banging like there was construction shit going on when I was chilling behind the house? But I didn't understand where it was coming from because I didn't notice nobody walking in and out. I didn't notice any of that. I didn't even think about it at the time, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was people inside there removing the plumbing and the electrical wires. I wonder if they were removing the plumbing, the banging sounds, and removing the electrical wire, the sounds of a saw. Because if you're gonna demo the house, you're just gonna rip the wires out. You don't even care. You're just gonna cut the damn shit off, and you're gonna rip the wires out wherever there's wires. So you're just gonna saw. With the pipes, to get rid of the pipes, you're you're gonna loosen it up with a wrench, and if you can't get the wrench to loosen it up, or you need to like bang it out of the way, you're gonna bang it. You're gonna hammer it. That to me explains the hammer and the saw sounds I was hearing when I was sitting behind the house. So then it really makes me wonder, we might just be waking up one day and they're coming in there because if they've already removed the plumbing and they've already removed the electrical, what else are you having to remove from a home before you knock the thing to the level? It doesn't, after you, especially the plumbing, after you remove the plumbing, you just take boom, boom, boom. You knock some walls. It starts to fall. You literally a couple hours and the house is leveled. I was like, I didn't understand it, but I'm like, why the hell am I hearing saws and banging? And I'm looking around and I don't see any construction going on. And sounds like it's coming right from inside the damn house, but I'm looking around and I'm like, what the hell? The shit's boarded up in the back. I'm like, I'm looking around. I was even doing I drove around a bunch at the end with the windows down. Same thing. I could hear it, and I'm just going, what the hell? I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 weeks. I hope it don't. I hope it don't. Oh yeah, I saw that picture. There's when you go up in those kind of attics, you're getting into like insulation and dust and dirt, and you might even run into some squirrels up there, or little gnomes or something, or gargoyles. I don't know. That's the last place you want to go. That's the last place you want to go if you're trying to stay clean or get rid of anything, you know what I mean? Little gnomes or gargoyles, who knows? All right. So, you guys wanted to watch Vinny? It was kind of like 50-50. Vinny or local. And then we'll get going. Let me see here. Vinny talks 4 days after the PCA came out, discussing where did Brian Koberger go after the Idaho crime? Or you got the local TV King 5 Seattle that discusses the on February 16th, and this is in the midst of his aunt saying that he didn't eat meat off a plate, and you had Coffindaffer say that the ID was connected. You had all these crazy freaking stories coming out with the MSM, but that's why I appreciate the local news, because the local news, even though, because they have to look up to them, mainstream, is, they're supposed to get to that level, there's got to be a certain respect. But at the same time, as a journalist, you also are trying to report the truth. And when you have to question things, you have to question things. Right, Michi girl, that's well said. That's well said. Lynn. Oh my gosh. You got bit 2 times from a brown recluse? Just now? Just now, detective? What? Go to the hospital right away, please. For real? Detective, if you got bit, you need to go to the hospital right away if you got bit from a brown recluse. No lie, seriously. I would try and get it right if you can, because you don't want to pass out. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I thought that just happened. Oh my gosh, no, I had a friend that got bit by one. Oh my gosh, you freaked me out, detective. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, are we watching Logan? Are we okay. Are we watching Oh my gosh. Well, and then I saw other people. Oh my God. I'm like, what? All right. We'll watch the local. This is the local. Let me rewind it just a little bit. And I didn't like it yet. And let me share the link with you guys. This is King 5 Seattle. Now, like I said, this was aired February 19th, 2023. And here's the link for that. Let me know if the stream's better. I went to mobile hotspot. I don't understand how hard it is to get even 50 megabytes when you're supposed to be getting 1 gig. I don't understand that. All right, so here's the local, aired February 19th, 2023. Now, I'm interested to see how much they mix in the local with the mainstream. Ooh, that sounds
We begin
cool.
with breaking news out of North Idaho.
Just a moment ago, Moscow police confirmed 4 people were found dead in a home.
Xana Kernodle.
Xana, you will not be forgotten. You have impacted so many lives and have given people so much love. I hope I can make you proud and try to leave an impact on this world and on people like you did.
Ethan Chapin.
We are eternally grateful that we spent so much time with him, because time is precious and it's something you can't get back.
Madison Mogan.
So just smart and funny and beautiful. She was just nice to everybody.
Kaylee Gonzalez. They shared everything. They came here together. They eventually get into the same apartment together. And in the end, they died together.
The Idaho murders rocked the small town of Moscow, captured the national attention. We'd soon learn that 4 college students were stabbed to death, murdered weeks before Thanksgiving. It would take police thousands of tips, hundreds of interviews before arresting Brian Koberger, the suspected killer. Let's go back to November of 2022, when this all started.
First, my deepest condolences to the families.
Oh, great. Here we go.
And friends of Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, and Madison.
All right, everybody. This is the first press conference, okay? This is the first one. You know, all these shows where I talk about moving glasses and the crying. Not once.
Excuse me.
Where's it?
Their loss has been devastating, and they were bright lights in our community.
The 4 victims were found dead around noon on Sunday, November 13th, 2022, in a house just off the University of Idaho's campus, after another roommate called police.
The results of autopsies indicated that the 4 were stabbed multiple times.
For 13th, 2022, in a house just off the University of Idaho's campus, after another roommate called police.
The results of autopsies indicated that the 4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds, and there was no sign of sexual assault.
Police say all 4 had been out until about 2 that morning before returning home. Documents show Xana Kernodle was awake around 4 a.m. She was on TikTok and ordered food through the app DoorDash. One of the surviving roommates told officers she woke up and heard what she thought was crying from Kernodle's room about 4:17 in the morning. A security camera about 50 feet from the wall of Kernodle's bedroom picked up distorted audio of what sounded like a whimper, followed by a loud thud and a dog barking. The roommate says she opened her door and saw a man in black clothes.
Okay. You know that audio that they're referring to? That's talking about 11:12. How in the hell is it going to pick that up, but the roommates ain't going to hear that?
through the app DoorDash. One of the surviving roommates told officers she woke up and heard what she thought was crying from Kernodle's room about 4:17 in the morning. A security camera about 50 feet from the wall of Kernodle's bedroom picked up distorted audio of what
About 70.
sounded like a whimper, followed by a loud thud and a dog barking. The roommate says she opened her door and saw a man in black clothing and a mask. Court documents say that man walked by her and out of a back sliding glass door. The roommate then locked herself in her room.
At this crime scene, we collected 103 pieces of individual evidence. We took
103. 103 pieces of evidence. What's up, AR? Thank you. I appreciate that. 103 pieces of evidence. Just 103. This was aired February 19th, 2020.
Her door and saw a man in black clothing and a mask. Court documents say that man walked by her and out of a back sliding glass door. The roommate then locked herself in her room.
At this crime scene, we collected 103 pieces of individual evidence. We took approximately 4,000 photographs. We've conducted multiple 3D scans of the residence, and we have hundreds of hours used by technicians and investigators.
Outside the house, police say the suspect's alleged movements.
And they really did go back to do another, when the FBI came back to re-record, they really did, because we showed you guys like a couple weeks. That team that went in there to do the whole 3D scans back then was literally there just a few short weeks after the crime took place. What's up, April? Just a few short weeks after the crime took place, that people, they came in there and did their scans and stuff. And that's what I was showing you guys before, is how shitty it was. It looked like Nintendo 64 fucking graphics when it's 2023. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if I can play a fucking video game and the hair looks real, if you're a gamer, you know what I'm talking about. If I can play a freaking video game and the hair flying in the wind, jumping out of a helicopter looks real as shit, I'm sorry. We can do better than Nintendo 64 fucking graphics, for a 3D scan inside the property. So when I kept showing you guys that video, same company. It's the same company that came out there and did the next go round with the FBI. Same company, but it's a lot better equipment, because the equipment they were using before, if you guys want to see it, I can show you later on. I can dig through the folder and find it and show you guys after a bit. You literally, there's a leather couch there, and the leather turns to corduroy on the fucking 3D scan. Like, it literally, it's a leather couch, but when you look at it on the 3D scan, it has lines going up and down it like it's corduroy. It was crazy, and it didn't understand it. It's like, why are we messing with Nintendo 64, man? So I totally understand why they went back in there.
Played a big role in connecting him to the crime scene. Using cell phone records and security camera video, investigators determined Kohberger's car and cell phone left the Washington State University campus, where Kohberger lives, at 2:44 a.m. on the night of the murders, headed for Moscow. Investigators say at 2:47 a.m., Kohberger's phone was either turned off or put in airplane mode. It didn't come back on until 4:48 that morning. A white sedan matching Kohberger's Hyundai Elantra was spotted in the area of the murder scene from 3:29 a.m. until 4:20 a.m. Court documents show the vehicle drove by the house 3 times, about 3:30 in the morning, before leaving the road. Then at 4:04, The car returned to the street and parked. Then it left the street at a high rate of speed at about 4:20 in the morning. The suspect's car was spotted back on the Washington State campus at 5:25 a.m. However, that wasn't the first time that Kohberger's car was near the victim's house. Was Kohberger stalking the victims? That's a question investigators sought to answer when they obtained a search warrant for records from Kohberger's cell phone. Court records say on at least 12 occasions prior to the murders, including one time back in August, Kohberger's phone was detected near the murder scene in late evening and early morning hours.
And that's why I put that video up there. That's why I put that link to that highlight there. Because if you're telling me somebody that's going to commit this crime, somebody that stalked this property, somebody that planned this, you're going to tell me they're going to take that route right there that I drove and recorded for you? They're going to take that route instead of the route that I put he should have took, which I took that as well? Because if you're if you're trying to get away with this crime, you do not fucking go that route of the PCA. I wasn't even there long, and it was obvious. Hell, I didn't even have to be there. I was looking at freaking Google Maps when the PCA came out, and I'm going, okay, if the dude really did stalk him and his social media was tied to him and the ID's connected and all of this other shit, and it's like, but why is this dude taking this route? Any small time would fucking know. Okay, George, I'm gonna go commit a crime, but I'm gonna drive all over the downtown of each city. Okay, George. Or you take the route, which is only 4 cameras. 4 cameras, plus the cameras that you hit when you get into Moscow from Airport Road. 4 cameras compared to how many did we count before we got out of Pullman? And that's just the ones on the street poles, and maybe being generous with some businesses on each side if we saw any, and any possible businesses that might have any kind of surveillance worth of shit. And then it was even generous then because I gave it 50 to 45%. So if I ran into 3, then I gave it 1. Sometimes I gave it 2. Like, and you're telling me you're taking all those damn... Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. He stalked the property 12 times. He pulled up like Joe Dirt delivering a pizza for the first time. But he stalked the property and he planned it out. My ass.
Kohberger's phone was detected near the murder scene in late evening and early morning hours. 2 weeks into the murder investigation, a break in the case. On November 25th, police asked the public to be on the lookout for a white Hyundai Elantra. On November,
I'm going to tell you right now, if they plan this out, right? If they really truly plan this out, the drive and the PCA, right? If they really did plan this out, and the fact that they were fucking, there was no kind of excellent execution before and after, just during, they're the luckiest criminal alive. I'm telling you right now, because the fact that if you can literally be that fucking stupid before and after the damn, if you can literally be that fucking stupid, I don't know how you made it out of the store stealing a candy bar, man. Like, how'd you even get out of the store stealing a candy bar?
November 29th, a WSU police officer looked up Elantras registered at the school. One of those was Koberger's. Investigators tracked him from Washington State to Pennsylvania in mid-December in that same car.
Hello, how you doing? How y'all doing today?
I will say that we have found an Elatra.
But it was DNA evidence that solidified Koberger as investigators' prime suspect. The 18-page affidavit says the Idaho State Lab found a single source of male DNA labeled suspect profile on the button snap of a knife sheath left at the crime scene.
The reason DNA is so compelling is because it is a unique signature. Unless you have an identical twin, no one has your exact DNA.
Cece Moore is the chief genetic genealogist with Parabon. She pioneered the genetic technology used in solving cases like the Golden State Killer. The techniques can crack a case with a tiny sample of DNA.
Based on the affidavit in this case, it looks like touch DNA is likely what they had to work with. That's just skin cells.
Koberger's affidavit shows that on December 27th, Pennsylvania agents took trash from his parents' home in Albrightsville.
The Supreme Court, the federal Supreme Court, has ruled that when we throw something away, we are abandoning that. So we are abandoning our DNA everywhere we go. And it has been ruled, at least so far, that that's fair game for law enforcement.
That trash was sent to the Idaho State Lab, and within a day, the lab had another profile.
It certainly appears that they retrieved his father's DNA from the trash.
Investigators reporting more than 99.9% of the male population is not expected to be the suspect's biological father.
Those are the ones that we hear in court. Those are the ones we hear law enforcement using as evidence that there's a 1 in huge number chance that anybody else could be that DNA contributor or be the parent of that DNA contributor.
3 days after the investigators went through the trash, Koberger was arrested at his parents' home on December 30th. Early on,
27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, all those days it went boom, 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 boom. And how do you collect DNA from trash? Send it back to the Idaho State Lab. And then all of a sudden, boom. Boom, the next day. Right back to the Idaho State Lab. Boom. I thought these things take test after test after test after test. Test after 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 test. Like, that's pretty damn quick, right, Katrina? You don't even have to call it back to back. You can take it. It was so quick. You could take the twos away and just call it back, back, back. Back, 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 back. I mean, it was that damn quick. Forget the twos. It takes too long. Back, 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 back. You know? Boom, 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 boom. Quick as shit.
Police learned Koberger had an above average understanding of police investigative tactics. According to court records, Koberger's...
He had above understanding, but damn, he went all over the fucking road. Come on now. All over the fucking road. When you live in Pullman, and I guarantee you, because I happened to go, I was already going to take the footage, but when I went out there, I put in, when I was at BK's apartment, I was doing different... It was the first day I was there. I was kind of doing different footage. I was just taking locations. It wasn't necessarily a route yet. I wasn't doing the route part yet. So when I was at BK's apartment, one of the times getting some footage, I was like, damn, I'm kind of hungry. I'm going to go to Walmart real quick and I'm going to get like a deli sandwich or something. And, so I put in Walmart for Moscow because I wanted to go ahead and hit up that way, and I wanted to go to Moscow anyway and get some footage, A&W, different spots, the mobile gas station, things like that. And it took me on that road as the quickest route. So I ended up driving down it on accident at first, not even trying to. And you literally, I'm telling you right now, if you're BK, and we all know he liked to shop in Moscow because the shopping really is better, you get items with your purchase, or you get bags for your purchased items in Moscow. Any store in Pullman, no. You don't get bags for your purchased items. If you go in there buying 12 boxes of cereal, well, you better be able to cart the cereal to your car, or you better, you ain't getting them in no bags. In Moscow, you get bags for your shit. It's beautiful. Bloop, bloop. You walk out of there, you walk out, So if you're BK, to tell me that if you've lived there that long, and to tell me that you've never ever driven down that damn road when it's so easy, it's literally you turn left instead of right, and then you go down a little bit and you're already right on the fucking road. It ain't very long at all. It's not. So to tell me that you never drove down that road, that road wouldn't come into your mind when you, quote, are trying to plan this crime out, if you know, right, like they're saying, you have an advanced knowledge of the tactics being used from enforcement, well, then you know what? I had to go to Walmart, and I had to go on Airport Road one time. You know what? Let me go ahead and go. I bet you, yeah, because all I really have to worry about is there's one business at a four-way stop as I'm leaving my apartment a couple blocks down. There is a business on the corner I might have to worry about. Other than that, I keep going straight. I hit a roundabout. After I hit a roundabout, honestly, other than that, it's just a bunch of hills. And then I have an airport off to the right side of me. And honestly, the airport sets so far back, they're not really going to be able to get that good of footage of the vehicle from that kind of surveillance all the way over there. So really, yeah, there's 4 cameras on the airport, but it's not going to get any kind of image that's going to be worth anything to them. So honestly, if I take Airport Road, then I probably wouldn't get busted. Unless I get caught on some kind of surveillance entering into Moscow, because you do have to hit a little left, and then you're in Moscow quick after. And then after that, then you're going by the businesses like Walmarts and your fast foods and, your restaurants and your sports stores. And then you hurry up and you hit a right, and you can go the back way around the Kibbe Dome to get to 1122, really, if you're trying to be secretive about it, instead of driving all over the inside of Moscow as well. You really just hang a right real quick, go right around the Kibbe Dome, and you're literally at the fucking house like within a minute. You don't go driving around. You don't go driving around. That too, Yoli. How many times did they? That's a good question. I hope what's up, Chris? I hope your night's going good, Yoli. And you know what? I enjoy the time with your friends. How long's it been since you've seen your friends? You said you're gonna have your friends over this weekend. How long's it? Would you say 20 years or something? You haven't seen them? It according to they got the trash on the 27th. I'll show you in the PCA. They got the trash on the 27th. They it went to here, let me see. December 27th. They recovered the trash in Albrightsville. On December 28th, the Idaho State Lab reported that the DNA profile obtained from the trash and the DNA profile obtained from the sheath identified a male as not being excluded as the biological father of suspect profile. At least 99.9998% of the male population would be expected to be excluded from the possibility of being the suspect's biological father. Then they wrote the PCA on the 29th all over the place. I think that was rushed, honestly, because when you're going into it, you see that one of the, Uniontown, Idaho, and it's really Uniontown, Washington. And there's quite a bit of distance between the state line and, you know what I mean? And when the streets aren't right, it's like it was rushed and thrown together. And probably, and like I was saying before, you look at the interview on the 16th. I already put a highlight about it earlier. Something's wrong, yo. Something's wrong. And then think about it. You got enrollment coming back in just a really quick period of time here. All of a sudden, 27th, boom, trash. 28th, boom, match. Trash, match. PCA on the 29th, arrest on the 30th. That's why I said get rid of the twos out of the back-to-back. Just call it back. It's that quick. That damn quick. Oh, been friends 30 years? But that was a... Oh, okay. Oh. Well, enjoy the time with your friends. No, they weren't on to him. They weren't on to... He was a tip. He was one of the... What'd they say at the end? 17,000 tips, I think they said at the end. 17,000 tips. He was one of the tips. Yeah, he was one of the tips when they looked, on November 20... What was it, 28th or 29th? When the WSU, Tango and what's his name? Where one of them said Washington, the other one said Pennsylvania, that one. Bushy eyebrows on the license. When you look at the license pictures, like what? I'm sorry, I don't see Captain Kangaroo eyebrows on BK. I just don't see him. I don't think they were on it. I think it was all quick as shit. Check out my latest highlight. Just go to the video section of my channel and then check out the latest video, the small one I put out. It was about, 11, 12 minutes, something like that. Check that out. Then there's a part 1 to it as well. That's crazy. Many contaminants. When you gotta, it's when you gotta do test after 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 test. It's like, yo. Oh, it's all good. You just click the little $sign at the bottom right, and then that's how you can gift memberships. If you're using an iPhone, I don't know. Yeah, she's gonna go hang out with your friends. This technology shit's secondary, yo. Thank you, Kid Kitty. I appreciate that. The 5 gifted memberships. It sucks because StreamYard still doesn't show. I really need to, I don't understand why StreamYard... It's all StreamYard and freaking internet, man. Look at that. It's not even... I can't even highlight them. Chris, Mandy, Lady for Justice, Cosmic Butterfly, and the Snooper. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, that's cool. 18th birthday. What's up? What's up? All right, we'll get back to this here. Yeah, he supposedly had advanced knowledge of the techniques that the elite really. Let's get real.
DNA contributor or be the parent of that DNA contributor.
Let's get real.
3 days after the investigators went through the trash, Kohberger was arrested at his parents' home on December 30th. Early on, police learned Kohberger had an above-average understanding of police investigative tactics. According to court records, Kohberger's past education included undergraduate degrees in psychology, cloud-based forensics.
He was definitely well-mannered, very intelligent.
He received his associate's degree in psychology at Northampton Community College in Pennsylvania in 2018. He then went on to DeSales University, also in Pennsylvania, for his bachelor's degree, then his master's in criminal justice. He studied under renowned criminal psychologist Catherine Ramsland, whose books include The Mind of a Murderer and How to Catch a Killer.
He was definitely selectively quiet. I think once you got him going on something that he was interested in, it was very clear that that was where he would take the initiative and say, hey, here's how much I know about this thing.
In May, just before he graduated, authorities confirmed he posted this Reddit survey asking participants to, quote, provide information to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. He asked questions like, how did you leave the scene? How did you accomplish your goal? And how did you approach the victim? Investigators also now know Kohberger applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 2022. Kohberger wrote in his essay he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies collect and analyze.
You see what I'm saying? What the hell does that mean, you guys? This is what I'm saying. If this is what you're trying to help out, you're trying to help out the same cameras you were getting caught on. What? You planned this out. You planned this out. You drove all over the cameras that you were literally going to be helping them out with. What do you think all those cameras were all around Washington State? It's a program. It's an internship. WSU has an internship with the Pullman PD. What do you think he was trying to do? Right there. But yet he's going to drive. Maybe he knew somebody on the inside. Hey, everybody. I don't want to get caught on these public safety cameras. So can you do me a favor? Can you shut it all down for a while? And then that way, only like the businesses that are on like Nevada might be able to get surveillance of my vehicle. Yeah. Do me a favor, buddy. Shut these ones down between, I don't know, 12 and 7. You know, somewhere around there. Shut them down for me, buddy. That way they can't get any good surveillance photos. All they can get is, you know, like from the Washington State buildings or something on Nevada. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, because how are they going to be able to tell it's my car from a business camera on Washington State building and, you know, 2, 3 in the morning? Yeah, it's not even that good lit. It's not even well lit. No. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Yeah, you think that's what took place? Give me a break.
Technological data in public safety operations. During his time at Washington State University, Kohberger was listed as the teaching assistant for 3 undergrad classes in the criminal justice department. He completed 1 semester in WSU's PhD program before he was arrested.
You never expect someone to do that, and I think it would be, not truthful to say like, oh yeah, I definitely saw it coming, but like really thinking about it, like it's not that surprising.
Kohberger was extradited to Idaho January 4th. He remains behind bars without...
Is it surprising to anybody these days when somebody you thought couldn't commit something actually did? You know what I mean? That's why even if people are just family members, you know what I'm saying? Family members. But really, like really, like, did you see the guy that did the shit? If you saw these people coming, wouldn't you be able to stop it? Like, if you saw these people coming, if it wasn't, it's always a surprise. You always hear stories about people like, yeah, like, I don't know, he seemed like he was really calm and in a gentleman, and then all of a sudden you find out he was a cannibal and an SK. You're like, what? How do you think they get away with it for so long? Because they blend in. And then it becomes a surprise, of course. Seriously, like, yeah. Like, you think, damn, he was such a cool dude. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, he liked that kind of steak for breakfast? Like, no.
Bail.
A criminal complaint was filed yesterday here in Latah County, charging the defendant, Mr. Kohberger, with 4 counts of first-degree murder, in addition to felony burglary.
Maybe.
The next step in the legal process.
Hey, I don't know. He might be guilty. You know what I mean? He might be guilty. But if you really took that PCA route, I'm surprised that you got out of that place with nobody knowing how you left. Because the way that you took and the way that you left, I just don't understand how you were that effective inside, but on the outside you were just all over the place. It just doesn't make sense.
This is a preliminary hearing where prosecutors
that too
present evidence.
Yeah, that's how we got away with all of his crimes, right?
The judge will also decide whether to send the case to district court.
Yeah.
That hearing is set for the week of June 26th. Kohberger will then have an arraignment hearing where he will enter a plea of guilty or not guilty.
If the prosecutors and the defendants want to, they can engage in plea negotiations. Otherwise, both sides will begin to prepare their case for trial. Unclear how quickly a trial could occur.
So how strong is the case against Kohberger?
What the police have done here is generated a host of circumstantial pieces of evidence. So, we have a car here, we have a sheath here, we have a surveillance footage at this time, and we have this. And together, that overall circle paints a picture of we can put this person here at this particular time when these happen.
What we don't know yet is if Moscow police have found the murder weapon, likely a knife similar to this one, or if they've confirmed a motive. But University of Idaho Assistant Professor of Law Sam Newton says it's safe to assume they're still gathering evidence, meaning new tips are still helpful.
They think they have enough to sustain at least an arrest and moving forward there. They may not feel like they have enough to prove it beyond.
See how that collar sticks out from that tie, everybody? You see how that collar sticks out? That's not a clip-on, people. Just saying. It's not a clip-on.
And so
that's a real tie.
Releasing the name of the suspect to the public allows the police to get more information to solidify
That's a real tie.
Newton says the defense may consider options like asking to move the case to another jurisdiction, and will comb through the other tips collected. If Kohberger were to be convicted, sentencing could range up to the death penalty.
The maximum penalty for this offense, if you were to plead guilty or be found guilty, is death or imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes. Lethal injection is permitted in some cases in the state of Idaho and Latah County.
I just had to
Prosecutor Bill
point it
Thompson
out.
will ultimately make the determination
I
of
could
whether or
not.
not the death penalty is pursued here. But he's not talking.
We are limited on what we are allowed by the courts to say outside of the courtroom.
The court's gag order means investigators can't release information until the facts are exposed in court or in public documents.
There appear to be indications that the magistrate judge does have some concerns about information that could be released to the public and therefore prevent us from finding an unbiased jury for this case.
Experts have pointed to holes in the case. Still, the prosecuting attorney is expressing optimism.
This is not the end of this investigation. In fact, this is a new beginning.
We're in
Yeah, that was during the arrest, everybody. It's a new beginning. They still want your tips to see if it fits. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. That needs to be a t-shirt. I still want your tips to see if it fits, you know? Come on, man. Give me a break.
Eastern Pennsylvania. Brian Kohberger spent his teenage years and most of his adult life here. That includes stints at 2 local colleges, including DeSales. Now, police and prosecutors in this area want to know what he was up to all those years and are digging into their...
Shout out Frisbee golf and Harsh. Harsh. That reminds me. Harsh. Harsh. I heard what you said about golf, bro. Oh, come on. Damn. It's too bad that he lives across the pond, because I would definitely go pay for a round of golf for me and Harsh. And I'd take him out on the course sometime and be like, Harsh, you don't even have to be good. And you don't even have to know how to play to enjoy a round of golf, my friend. It's not about hitting a ball, my friend. I mean, a little bit. A little bit is about hitting a ball. You know, it feels good to get up there and whack a ball, you know, especially if you have somebody that knows how to play and can be like, okay, this is how you hold the club. This is where you put your hands and this is how you swing, right? Not bad. And Harsh, I don't walk. I ride that cart, baby. I ride that cart. I don't have to take 10 minutes to get to my ball. I ride that cart, baby, and it takes me like 30 seconds, okay? And if I don't find it, I just drop another one where I think it went. That's all. It's all good. It's about the nature. It's about the birds. It's about the breeze. It's about the fresh air. It's about the atmosphere. It's about peace. You know, you get out in the wilderness and you get that fresh air and you get that vitamin D and it's peace. You know, that's what it is, my friend. I'm gonna take you guys out on the golf course coming up here next year. I couldn't get to it this year. Trust me, I already got the little suction cup camera holder that goes on the go-kart for the fucking golf course. So trust me. You will be going on the golf course with me. I'm going to be taking you. You guys are going to have a camera on the freaking golf cart itself. It's going to be sweet. No, I don't do fishing. I can't do fishing. So I totally agree with Harsh on the fishing. I can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it. Not into it. Don't like it. No. I too had a hook in my finger and it ruined fishing for me when I was a kid because I took my little sister fishing. I was how old was I? 11, 12 maybe. 11, 12, somewhere around there. I took my sister because it was during the summertime when we didn't have school, and so I'd have to think of things that we could go do during the day to keep busy, you know. And so I'd take my little sister, I'd take her fishing and to the pool and stuff like that. And there's one time I took her fishing and she didn't she didn't like to take the fish off the hook, so I was doing it. And one of the times the fish, like the fins on the back, because we would just go to a little pond at the park, and that was right by the house. And a fish, when I was trying to take the hook out, the fins on the top of the fish like stuck up, and it like stung me all over my hand, which then made me yank my hand away, and then the hook was still in the mouth, and then the hook got my thumb. This is me. So yeah, I don't even like the smell or the taste or anything of fish, so I just don't even. So I totally agree with the fish. But no, golf, man, just wait, y'all. We'll be going golfing coming up in the spring. I'm going to be going to golf on these different trips I make. I'm going to be hitting up the golf courses too.
Cold case files. Just outside the open wilderness and resort towns of the Pocono Mountains lies a neighborhood called the Birches.
It's just a very quiet community.
These are the streets an accused killer once roamed as a teenager.
I've definitely seen it on TV. Who hasn't?
Now, Lynn Klein and others in the Pennsylvania communities where Brian Kohberger lived until last year want to know if he could have committed any crimes before he was charged with the murders at the University of Idaho.
Because anybody or any family that's been harmed or done wrong to deserves to know the truth.
Right, the truth.
It isn't just citizens. Police and prosecutors have asked the same question.
Your natural reaction is to start wondering, okay, is this guy wanted? Is his name out there? Did he do anything here in Northampton County? Terry Houck.
Terrence Houck is district attorney of Northampton County and leads an office of more than 20 prosecutors and a half dozen detectives. It's here at Northampton Community College where Brian Kohberger took his first courses in higher education.
That's probably what it was. It was a bluegill or
After
something.
Kohberger's arrest for the Idaho murders,
people.
Northampton County's district attorney ordered a review of unsolved cases in his county.
We have a crime information center that compiles information of people's description, size, weight, height, method of operation, things of that nature.
Obviously, you wonder whether or not there was any criminality that he committed here in Lehigh County or in the environs.
Jim Martin, district attorney of the neighboring county, Lehigh, also ordered a review of unsolved cases. Lehigh County is home to DeSales University, which Kohberger attended after Northampton Community College. He spent 4 years here studying criminal justice.
Brian Kohberger,
earning a master's degree last summer. What does law enforcement do given that he did spend time here?
Well, we have a resource here called the Regional Intelligence and Investigation Center. It's the first thing I did was I asked the director of the RIC, as we call it, to see if we had any contact with Mr. Kohberger.
A data search of more than 6 million police incident reports in Pennsylvania turned up only one record with Kohberger's name. He called police from this bike trail one night to report that his car was locked behind a park gate.
There was a response from him thanking the police and apologizing for the inconvenience.
The district attorney.
Wow, one time.
Attorney in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, where Kohberger grew up and where a SWAT team arrested him on December 30th, did not respond to our questions. But in Northampton and Lehigh counties, both district attorneys say their investigations have found no links to Kohberger and any unsolved cases.
So we have no unsolved homicides that in any way meet the modus operandi of this event out in Idaho.
There was nothing been brought to my attention. In fact, nothing with respect to Kohberger has come about in our investigations of cold cases or unsolved cases to this point.
And that should be some relief to a community that's been stunned and saddened by the murders of 4 college students 2,500 miles away.
It's a little close to home. You just don't expect it.
In December, people here were hit by a fact as cold and hard as steel, the once towering industry that fueled this part of Pennsylvania. One of their own was charged in a mass murder 2,500 miles away.
So I looked it up. I typed, Idaho murders. And then
Like, holy crap, that's Brian. You know, that's Brian. I know Brian. You know, that's wild to me. It's a shock. You know, seeing someone you've known on TV.
Jack Bayless met Brian Kohberger in 8th grade when the two of them ran with a group of boys in this neighborhood near Albrightsville, Pennsylvania.
I want to say he wanted to be a cop since he was younger.
What kind of teenager was he?
He was pretty normal. He was definitely heavier set, and that caused issues in school, apparently.
But in high school, dramatic.
He said apparently. Did you hear that at the end? Come on now. If you fucking know, you're not saying apparently.
Bayless met Brian Kohberger
Give
in
me a
8th
break.
grade.
Listen.
When the two of them ran with a group.
It's hard to hear it, but right at the very end, he says, apparently. Give me a fucking break. If you're his fucking friend, you know, you don't say apparently.
Of boys in this neighborhood near Albrightsville, Pennsylvania.
I want to say he wanted to be a cop since he was younger.
What kind of teenager was he?
He was pretty normal.
Right at the end, apparently.
He was definitely heavier set, and that caused issues in school, apparently.
But in high school, dramatic changes washed over Kohberger, according to several friends, including Bayless.
I believe it was the weight loss first.
Apparently.
And I was, I want to say 14.
Remember, you guys remember that little kid? Apparently. Remember, he was at the fair, the little kid with the microphone, and he was all weird, the little, apparently. Remember that kid? Shout out to you, kid. Man, you made me laugh my ass off so much when you had that little, apparently. Oh my gosh. Apparently. If you're Sorry, somebody said I repeat myself too much in one of my videos in the comment section. I apologize.
To maybe 16 between there was the big weight loss. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then it was the drugs.
You remember him?
He get started in drugs.
He got in drugs.
Look it up. Apparently, kid. You'll see what I'm talking
It was definitely
about.
heroin. It was pretty gnarly.
Bayless doesn't know exactly when Kohberger got.
Seriously, YouTube apparently kid. And you'll see what I'm talking about. This little kid from a local apparently that I like this ride. Just type in apparently kid and you will laugh your freaking ass off. The kid's so it's such an awesome video. It really is. What a person. I bet you that kid's got his own damn YouTube show right now with that kind of personality way back then,
Clean.
Last I saw him, he was pretty lucid.
But the two reconnected after Kohberger enrolled at DeSales University in Center Valley, right around the corner from Bayless's home. Kohberger's major, Criminology.
He's always been kind of fascinated with kind of how the brain works and how people think and why they do what they do.
And so my senior year, I ended up in a biology class, which is where I met and interacted with Brian Kohberger.
What were your first impressions of the guy?
All right, I'm gonna pause it right there. I'm gonna share the link. Go save this to your save this video to your playlist. Okay, we're taking a pause real quick. Save this to your playlist. This is the apparently kid. I'm just gonna play it for a second. Okay.
What did you think about the ride? It was great. And apparently, I've never been on live television before, but apparently sometimes I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, and apparently Grandpa just gives me a remote after we watch the Powerball.
Okay, go sit. Go save it. Here's the link. Watch the whole thing sometime. All right. Apparently, okay. If you're the best friend, if you're not even the best friend, if you're a friend, if you're a friend, and then you're going to end your sentence with apparently, I'm sorry. Oh my lord.
Washed over Koberger,
Oh,
according
my
to
lord.
several friends, including Bayless.
I believe it was the weight loss first. Weight loss first, and I was, I want to say 14 to maybe 16, in between there was the big weight loss. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then it was the drugs.
How did he get started in drugs?
He got in drugs via an acquaintance of his. It was definitely heroin. It was pretty gnarly.
Bayless doesn't know exactly when Koberger got clean,
Last I saw him, he was pretty lucid.
but the two reconnected after Koberger enrolled at DeSales University in Center Valley, right around the corner from Bayless's home. Koberger's major, criminology.
He's always been kind of fascinated with kind of how the brain works and how people think and why they do what they do.
And so my senior year, I ended up in a biology class, which is where I met and interacted with Brian Koberger.
What were your first impressions of the guy?
Brian seemed normal enough.
But that opinion did not last for Bernard James, a DeSales film student in 2018 when he attended a class with Koberger.
One of the big parts of that biology class that we were in, we had a group project as a part of our final grade.
With 4 DeSales classmates on the project, Koberger was chosen as team leader. Not surprising for the student DeSales professor Michelle Bolger called brilliant. And
That's interesting. But I thought you were some incel. That had attitudes toward women, and hold on a minute. What? But we heard all these other things, and we're hearing this guy that, you guys remember the picture of Koberger with the notebook, and this was his partner. Not apparent. This is apparently guy right here. That apparently. Okay, buddy.
14 to maybe 16, in between there
buddy.
was the big weight loss. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then it was the drugs.
how did he get started in drugs?
He got in drugs via an acquaintance of his. It was definitely heroin. It was pretty gnarly.
Bayless doesn't know exactly when Koberger got clean,
Last I saw him, he was pretty lucid.
but the two reconnected after Koberger enrolled at DeSales University in Center Valley, right around the corner from Bayless's home. Koberger's major, criminology.
He's always been kind of fascinated with kind of how the brain works and how
Somebody that knew him before and after and in college.
people think and why they do.
He's not saying apparently either. He's not saying apparently.
It's his home. Koberger's major, criminology.
He's always been kind of fascinated with kind of how the brain works and how people think and why they do what they do.
And so my senior year, I ended up in a biology class, which is where I met and interacted with Brian Koberger.
What were your first impressions of the guy?
Brian seemed normal enough.
But that opinion did not last for Bernard James, a DeSales film student in 2018 when he attended a class with Koberger.
One of the big parts of that biology class that we were in, we had a group project as a part of our final grade.
With 4 DeSales classmates on the project, Koberger was chosen as team leader. Not surprising for the student DeSales professor Michelle Bolger called brilliant and one of the best students ever, according to an article in the Daily Mail. Dr. Bolger declined to comment to King 5. But to some classmates at the Christian University, Koberger seemed more like a know-it-all.
The way that he came across in his speech, kind of person who has to use big words, the one always raising his hand in class.
And what happened then towards the end of this whole thing?
We're approaching the due date, and I was feeling like I was left out to dry.
Bernard James says Koberger completed the class project without including him, resulting in a failed class in Bernard's final year at DeSales. He confronted Koberger in the university library.
I remember him being very straight-faced, very almost emotionless with this. He kind of like a small smile on his face. Like there's more to him than it seems. Very intense stare. I remember that. I'll never forget that. Looking right into my soul almost, as we were having.
Well, how could you know that you're not included on the project? Wouldn't you know it if you were part of the project? Wouldn't you know it? Unless you weren't doing shit in the project. then you might not know that your name's not on the project, but wouldn't you know your name's not on the project if you're in the project? Okay.
Having this back and forth. Yeah, manipulative, cold.
Was he witnessing an odd personality trait or something more?
So then what happened? Did you go to the professor? Like what? I mean, how are you involved in a project? You don't get recognized for a project. It sounds to me like you weren't doing shit. That's why you didn't get put. I mean, he was a team leader. There's a reason. Because when your team doesn't come through, you always come through for your team. That's what being a leader is. So how do you know you're not? I don't know.
Kind of how the brain works and how people think and why they do what they do.
So my senior year, I ended up in a biology class, which is where I met and interacted with Brian Koberger.
What were your first impressions of the guy?
Brian seemed normal enough.
But that opinion did not last for Bernard James, a DeSales film student in 2018 when he attended a class with Koberger.
One of the big parts of that biology class that we were in, we had a group project as a part of our final grade.
With 4 DeSales classmates on the project, Koberger was chosen as team leader. Not surprising for the student DeSales professor Michelle Bolger called brilliant and one of the best students ever, according to an article in the Daily Mail. Dr. Bolger declined to comment to King 5. But to some classmates at the Christian University, Koberger seemed more like a know-it-all.
The way that he came across in his speech, kind of person who has to use big words, the one always raising his hand in class.
And what happened then towards the end of this whole thing?
We're approaching the due date, and I was feeling like I was left out to dry.
Bernard James says Koberger completed the class project without including him, resulting in a failed class in Bernard's final year at DeSales. He confronted Koberger in the university library.
I remember him being very straight-faced, very almost emotionless with this. He kind of like a small smile on his face. Like there's more to him than it seems. Very intense stare. I remember that. I'll never forget that. Looking right into my soul almost, as we were having this back and forth. Manipulative, cold.
Was he witnessing an odd personality trait or something more? After Koberger's arrest, Bernard can't be sure.
I mean, it's not every day you expect to come into contact with someone who's accused of something like that, but I see it in some ways. I see the calculated side of him.
We're talking about 4 vicious stabbings here.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Could your friend have done this?
I hope he didn't do it. I'm a big believer in innocent until proven guilty. So I hope someone I know didn't do that.
Here in Pennsylvania, we've been unable to reach anyone from Koberger's family. A public defender here who represented him during extradition proceedings has said that Koberger looks forward to being exonerated in Idaho.
You just couldn't ask for better kids.
Right?
Dave Hayton considered.
Right. Where's the resolution? Where's you saying at the end? Yeah, I talked to the professor. I showed him all the work that I did, and I find. And that's bad job on Mr. Reporter for not asking that question, because I sure as hell would ask that question. Okay. Well, how did you get to a resolution? What was the resolution? Oh, well, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, okay. Right? You got to ask the questions after the questions.
Ethan Chapin family, all the Chapin kids actually. He and his wife watched them grow up in their Conway neighborhood and treated them like grandchildren. They'd come over for fudge sickles from the basement freezer. When the couple heard what had happened, they were crushed.
She's crying. And she says, Ethan's been murdered.
Oh, I remember this guy. I remember this now. I remember this now. This poor guy.
Couldn't.
Wow, I forgot about this.
Can't get your head around it.
Aw.
Ethan was a triplet. They attended the Conway School before moving on to Mount Vernon High, where Ethan played on the basketball team and graduated in 2019. The siblings were close. They even went to college together. Ethan and his brother were members of the same fraternity.
We have these other two kids that are very impacted by this, and they need to be lifted up and cared for.
Ethan's parents say Ethan was the comedian of the family and was a lover of country music and sports. What did Ethan like to do?
Anything. You name it, he played it, literally. I think we just watched a thing from the university, spike ball champion, volleyball champion. I mean, he just literally would play and do anything.
Ethan's girlfriend, Xana Kernodle, was one of the other victims, and they were in the same room in the house. Ethan's parents say they just saw him the weekend before the murders at the University of Idaho's Parents' Weekend and felt so proud and at ease.
As we pulled out of Moscow, we literally were like, we've done it. We've literally done it as parents. We've created 3 incredible humans that will go on.
But now the future looks much different, and Ethan's future gone. Now their focus is on supporting Ethan's 2 other siblings and keeping his light alive.
If everybody was like Ethan Chapin in this world, it would be a better place.
So many lives and have given people so much love. I hope I can make you proud and try to leave an impact on this world and on people like you did.
Being comfy, cute pink things, smiling, dancing, and laughing. These are just some of the things Madison Mogan's friends and family remember that the 21-year-old loved.
It's just always making the best of every situation.
Maddie, as she was known, was from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Maddie was such an easygoing, loving child growing up.
Her family says she was inquisitive and curious. Big Steelers fans, her stepfather Scott Laramie shares a favorite memory from Maddie's time growing up.
Just watching the game with her, and every time the Steelers scored, I'd pick her up and I'd hold her high in the air and we celebrate together.
Wow, you never hear from them, do you? Except for here. That's crazy.
And she'd always just laugh so hard at that.
Maddie grew up in northern Idaho with her best friend Kaylee Consalvis.
They were inseparable from the 6th grade on. The 2 of them were a force not to be reckoned with. They stuck together through everything.
Maddie loved to travel, especially with Kaylee and her family.
They were sisters. She was one of ours.
At the University of Idaho, Maddie was majoring in marketing. She worked at the Mad Greek restaurant and was using her marketing skills to run a social media campaign for the eatery. She was also a member of the Pi Beta Phi sorority. Her freshman year, Maddie met her boyfriend, Jake Schreiger. The couple dated for 2 years.
Maddie was my best friend. She was the first person I talked to every morning and the last person I talked to before bed.
Jake says Maddie knew her worth. She was beautiful, inside and out. And if you needed a shoulder to cry on, that was Maddie too.
Maddie was the best at spreading love to all of those that were close to her.
Kaylee Gonzalez leaves a big void in her big family. Growing up in Rathdrum, Idaho, they describe her as the ultimate middle child.
What's up, Connor?
She was always competitive. There was never a day that she didn't want to race her brother because she was just determined that girls were faster than boys. Or that she didn't want to go bug her little sisters and make sure they knew that she was older.
Smack dab in the middle of 5 kids, Kaylee's mother, Christy, can't imagine what the family will be like without her.
The dynamics of the family will never be the same.
The 21-year-old was a senior at the University of Idaho. She was majoring in general studies. According to an obituary in the Coeur d'Alene Press, she was studying to become an elementary school teacher. Kaylee had a heart for adventure, was known for playing pranks on her family. She also loved her mini golden doodle Murphy, who her family says was her fur baby. Her sister Olivia says Kaylee was tough and fair, didn't hold back in love, fights, or life.
We'll miss that gift that she brought to us every single day, and she was a little ornery too, so we'll miss that as well.
Kaylee's father, Steve, smiles as he reflects on her love of country music and concerts. Her love of her best friend, Madison Mogan. She grew up alongside Madison. She died alongside her too.
They were beyond sisters, because sisters are you kind of forced to get along. These two didn't, they weren't forced. They were just like yin and yang.
The national spotlight may be on the suspect, but Steve wants to keep the focus on the beautiful lives lost. Moving forward, he's also working on forgiveness.
We're not going to walk around with darkness in our heart for the rest of our lives and, have his name written there like a tattoo on our consciousness. So yeah, you have to forget. At least I feel you have to forgive. Otherwise, it's just a cancer inside you.
I think that's right when I think that's right around when he was asked to kind of, just take your time, right? His hat says, "Oh yeah, I know, Amy. We looked into it. Yeah. You know what I mean. Bitcoins. That's just a little bit. I know what you mean."
And I'm not willing to live with that inside me.
There's still a long way to go until the Moscow Police Department can claim a conviction. Brian Koberger's case is working its way through the legal system. Meanwhile, for the families of Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan, they're just beginning the long process of healing. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sebastian Robertson.
That's a good program there. That was from February 19th, 2023. There's come on. There you go, StreamYard. There's the link to the video if you want to save it to your playlist. I would have told them to kiss. Well, basically what they said, he kind of, because he said they came to him and they told him, look, they told him, look, we're not telling you we're not down the same path, is what they told him. We're not telling you we're not down the same path, but you're going really fast. Not that we're not on the same path, because we have to cross our T's and dot our I's, we need you to slow down a little bit. Not saying that you're not going down the right path, but we need you to slow down a little bit, you know. Very interesting. All right. Now, let's get to that Vinny Court TV one that I got for you guys. Now, this is from 4 days after the PCA. Apparently. Oh, what a great video. You guys definitely gotta watch that if you have never seen it. Let me see here. Where'd it go? There it is. All right. This was from January 9th, right? January 9th, 4 days after the PCA. So we're about to hear a whole bunch of MSM coming out. The apparently kid is just as good as the Listen Linda kid. Oh, I've never heard that one. Let me write that one down. I need to check that one out after. Let's see what tie he has on. Oh, what do you guys think? Do you think it's gonna be pastel or a solid? Here, let me make sure I go full screen and don't show it at all. 4 days after the PCA. I don't know. He's going to look professional. He's going to look professional, right? He's got to look really professional because it's 4 days after the PCA. He's a former prosecutor. You know, he's got to look like he's going to court. So do you think he's wearing pastel or do you think he's wearing a dark color? Does dark color represent business or does pastel represent business? I think the dark ties represent business, and I think the pastels represent, you know, the more relaxed. Because I thought there was another one he did the day the PCA came out, and I think that he wore like a solid blue tie, like it was a dark navy tie or something. He's wearing jeans and tennis shoes, probably. I mean, sometimes I wear jeans on during the show. Sometimes I wear sweatpants. It's just whatever. You know, it's whatever. Sometimes I just wear shorts. I don't know. It's just whatever. TV, right? Oh, shit. All right, let's see. Let's find out. Is it pastel or is it solid color? I'm thinking he's going to be all about the business, baby.
We retraced the bizarre route taken by the man police say murdered 4 University of Idaho students. We'll show you where he went right after the murders, then follow the path he took the following morning after he returned to the scene of the crime. Court TV is on the ground in Idaho following the evidence.
The evidence.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. It is just a criminal cliche.
It's a mixture, everybody. It's not a dark navy and it's not a pastel. It's an in-between. It's a blue.
The criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. I don't know if it's true, but wow. It is in this case, the case of the man accused of murdering the 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan, Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee. This to me
is a fact that speaks volumes and
Wait a minute. Criminal cliche. That's sticking out to me. Criminal cliche. Did we do this one already? Or is it just because I remember it from when the episode came out and the word stuck out to me? Criminal cliche. That sounds... I'm trying to think. It sounds like... It sounds like we have. I think we did. Let me play it a little bit longer. For some reason, I'm feeling like we did. Criminal cliche. That's... I know. I feel like... Because I... Let me see if there's like another catchy saying he does. Then it's then I don't know. We'll see.
can be very
criminal
to the scene of the crime. I don't know if it's true, but wow, it is. In this case, the case of the man accused of murdering the 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan, Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee. This to me is a fact that speaks volumes and can be very powerful and very persuasive for a prosecutor in a courtroom, like I was. It tells a story. Like, there's 2 questions, right, that a lot of people want to know. One is, like, why? Why would he allegedly do that? Why would he kill these 4 students? Why would he target them? Why? To me, the answer to that is very simple. And it's the same answer as to why the accused killer would return to the scene of the crime. He's a psychopath. He's a psychopathic killer. There's no...
Wait. Yeah, this is 4 days after. Here, let me put the date up there again. If he says, I'm going to take you inside his mind. It's a dangerous place. Let me warn you. It's a dangerous place. If he does that, then I know that we've watched this already. Let me see.
No, there's no connection to the lives of these people. There's no rational motive that you could speak about, or classic motive like money, jealousy, or anything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I would say to the jury if I were the prosecutor. This is a case, I mean, we could try to get inside his mind, but it's a dangerous place.
Oh.
It's a place where evil lives. The evil that could do what was done here. The same type of psychopathic evil that would want to return to the scene of the crime to see the reaction, to see what people are saying and what's happening there. That's who returns to the scene of the crime, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I would argue.
Yeah,
that's part of the story. Now, another part of the story, of course, in addition to the why, is who. Who. And the who really begins and ends with the DNA that is found on the sheath that is left on the sheets of the bed. This DNA, which, according to the affidavit, matches the DNA of the biological son of the defendant's father. So I'm sure they're doing more testing, and will have more testing at trial to connect it to the defendant himself. But that's another part of the story, is who was there. And the evidence is in the DNA, in the knife sheath that is found on the sheets. Now, why would it be there, though? Why would, and this is the other question people wonder, why would he leave it there? That's sloppy. Well, there's 2 ways to explain it to a jury. And you don't have to tell them that you know for sure which way it is, because it's not an element of the crime. But again, it's a dangerous place to get into the mind of someone who is an evil, psychopathic killer. Maybe, just maybe, he left it there on purpose.
Yeah.
To give a clue so he could sit back and watch how this investigation goes, to see if they can actually
catch him, knowing that his DNA is not in the system.
So Vinny, why wouldn't he leave his footprints walking out the fucking door? Maybe he left it. Why would he take all that time to clean his shit up? All right, we've already seen this before. So, there was, if you guys remember, last night I was playing a bunch of press conferences. They were little short ones, 15 minutes here and there, whatever. Now, I can play that one, or we can go to a smaller court TV, because we've already seen this before. Lynn teleported. We've already seen this before, so there's two things we can go now, because I'm not gonna watch this one again. It's just crazy. So, two things what we can do. We can go to so last night we were playing a bunch of press conferences from 12/8, 12/10, 12/12, 12/16. Then we played a small little bit of the press conference on 12/28, which was the day before they wrote the PCA. Now, there was one press conference that I didn't show last night, and that was the press conference from 11:20, which is after 12/16, between 12:20 or 12/28. We can play that one, or we can go to Brian Koberger reveals his alibi from Court TV, and then another Court TV special about how he, quote, repeatedly messaged victims on Instagram. Two of the old gems from a long time ago. One was from just about 4 months ago when he really did. Ann Taylor, gave out the partial of the alibi and stated that she would like to show the rest of the alibi to the judge, but without the prosecution being able to see it. So far, we haven't heard anything about that one yet. So, you got the old nugget of the alibi, but the really old nugget from when, because there's even up until the court hearings that we just had that were televised from Court TV, even that last one, they were still putting up there on their little ticker as they're showing the courtroom view on their little ticker up there. I not only had to put my coffee cup up because of the Zoom, but I also, the last two court hearings, maybe three, I had to also put my coffee cup up when they were showing shit like he was repeatedly messaging the victims on social media. Had to do it to that too. If anybody was hanging out with us, you remember that. I had to do that too. It was most of the time you just saw a coffee cup. So we can go to the Court TV episodes here. First, I'm going to go to the repeatedly message the victims on Instagram, and then we'll go to the alibi one after that. This one has got to be crazy.
How you feeling, Brian?
Why did you do it? Are you ready to go to Idaho?
Why did you do it? Last time to Pennsylvania, Brian.
Those questions so powerful that were being screamed out there. Why did you do it? Why did you do it? It gets to really the essence of what a lot of people are wondering. We don't know if investigators have an answer to that question. But was there any connection? Any connection? And when I say connection, I mean, was there any indication that this suspect, this defendant, the one who's been accused, was he in some way stalking?
That's the same damn tie. That's the same damn tie. We just watched the show that was... It was 9 days before. He's got the same. Vinny, you only got 9 ties, bro? That's the same damn tie as January 9th's episode. And this is January 18th. So 9 days later. Damn, bro. Oh, it's all good, Tib. Well, how many days did we have between the show? You know? I mean, you know, we had plenty of days between the show typically. This Vinny just had 10 days, bro. Is it the same shirt too, Yoli? Is it really? What the fuck? It's the same. Oh my gosh, it's the same. It's the same freaking tie. It's the same shirt. It's the same dress code, yo. Look. Oh my gosh. Look. January 9th. Oh, January. I'm not bullshitting. January 9th. January 18th. No way. January 18th. No way. Damn.
Did he know them? Did he come across them, whether in person or on social media? Well, let me tell you what is now being reported by People magazine exclusively, that there was some sort of a direct message sent from this accused killer to one of the victims on Instagram. Take a look. 2 weeks before the slayings of 4 universities.
Right. Yeah, a bunch of people were truth. What a fucking shitty ass connection. It even happened tonight. Now I'm having to go off my damn mobile hotspot. Freaking ridiculous. Can't even get a damn good internet connection. It drove me nuts earlier. I was like, fuck it. It's not even good quality. 2 weeks before the slayings of 4 University Idaho students last November, the man now accused of unaliving them sent a series of messages to one of the victims on Instagram. An investigator familiar with the case tells People. So they went to People magazine. Remember when I was telling you guys that I thought Papa Roger, I thought shit like this going to mainstream was actually people trying to push a narrative? There you go, right there. Right? Like that. Oop. There you go. Right there.
University of Idaho students last November. The man now accused of killing them sent a series of messages to one of the victims on Instagram. An investigator familiar with the case tells People in late October, an account that authorities believe belonged to the killer, accused killer, sent a greeting to one of the female victims, the source says. When he didn't get a reply, he sent several more messages to her. He slid into one of the girls' DMs several times, but she didn't respond. The source tells People. Basically, it was just him saying, hey, how are you? But he did it again and again.
All right. How do you slide? Because if you're going to say you slide into somebody's DM, doesn't that mean somebody checked your message? Right? I mean, I'm just asking. Because are you really in the DM if it's not read? Right? How do you slide into the DM when you didn't even get in the motherfucker? I don't understand. Benny.
Is this one of the connections? Is this part of the evidence?
Benny.
Joining us now, special guest from
Oh, look at
Orlando,
that grin.
Florida, senior
Oh.
crime writer for People.
Oh, this guy. This guy. Yeah, Vinny, he's already grinning. He knows what's going to happen.
Writer for People magazine.
This guy's going to agree with me.
Steve Helling
Yeah,
is
here
with us.
we
They
go.
broke this news today. For more on the case, be sure to go to people.com. Steve, great to see you. You continue to do it. Continue to do it again and again.
What do you
in
do?
all these big cases.
What do you do?
Is this a potential connection?
You continue to do it oh, this is a dude from People magazine. Steve Helling, a senior crime writer for People magazine. You continue to do it. Well, what did he do? Is he like an award-winning fucking... Hold on. He kicks it with Usher. All right. Kicks it with Usher. Okay. TV host, author, journalist. People magazine. Okay, this isn't his shit, is it? TV hosting. Scandal made me famous. Hanging with Michael Phelps in Rio. Murder made me famous. Survivor. Oh, he was on Survivor. Going with Tim Tebow to Haiti. Wrote a book about Tiger Woods and Casey Anthony. Murder made me famous. Scandal made me famous. What kind of glamour shot is that with little babies in a hospital? What the fuck is that? A glamour shot with little babies in a hospital? Bro, are you just about you or what? It's a glamour shot with fucking babies in a hospital, bro. Okay.
Steve, great to see you. You
What's up,
continue
Kissy?
to do it. Continue to do it again and again in all these big cases. Is this a potential connection here?
Right.
And is this perhaps an indication of some level of internet stalking that may have been going on?
You know, I don't know whether you call it stalking. I don't know exactly what you call it, but clearly she was on his radar. Clearly, you know, he knew who she was. He knew where she lived. He knew things about her, you know, and, you know, he reached out, and people do that all the time. They send a note that's like, hey, and if they don't respond, they say, hey, again. And he did that several times. What does that mean? The only thing we can say it means is that he knew who she was. He knew that this wasn't just him wandering into a house. It was somebody who he had attempted to contact before.
I'm wondering, you know, because he's on court TV and he's got his collared shirt unbuttoned down to, you know, down to the middle of the chest. Where's the fucking medallion, bro? Because I thought the dudes that wore their collars and their shirts unbuttoned all the way down here that didn't have I thought they all wore medallions. I thought they all wore medallions. You know, they got that.
And we also know from the probable cause affidavit that there were many trips, at least 12, to the area of the house on King Road. To me, you put those two together, it's starting to paint a little bit of a picture that a jury's going to need during the trial.
I mean, absolutely. When there's no motive known yet, you start to look at past behavior. You start to figure out, how was he connected with these people? And, if he went 12 different times around that neighborhood, around that house, well, that's a connection. If he followed some of them on Instagram, that's a connection. And what the investigators need to do at this point is put all of those together and see what exactly that connection was. Did he have any interactions with any of these people before the night that this happened? We don't really know yet.
I guess some of that information will be made public inside a courtroom, but that's not until June. Steve, this is one of those cases that's been difficult on the one hand to get information because of the gag orders that have been put in place and the way investigators did what they did. But on the other hand, in the world we live in today, there is an opportunity to dig into digital footprints, things that have been done on social media, people that have come across this defendant. And that is really starting to happen now. And we're starting to learn little pieces here and there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you and I have worked together for a long time, Vinny, and we worked together on the Casey Anthony case. That was here in Florida, and in Florida, everything is public. There's no secrets. You get the discovery as soon as the lawyers get the discovery. Idaho's not that way, so there's going to be more digging that needs to be done. There's going to be more, search.
It's doing crappy. I'm on frickin' mobile hotspot since the beginning of the show.
There's going to be more reporting that needs to be done for us to start to figure out really what's going on here. This isn't going to be a type of thing, as you remember, that suddenly we get 500 pages of evidence. That's not how this is going to be. When things happen in court, we're going to be in that courtroom, and we're going to be learning it along with everybody else.
Yeah, Florida, I love the weather, but there's other reasons why I love Florida. Well, I want to put up on the screen something that the New York Times is actually reporting from the defendant's online posts. The suspect commiserated with other users while suffering from a little understood neurological condition called visual snow, in which a person's vision is obscured by scattering dots, much like the static seen on an analog television. This is really an interesting and I guess little known condition. I've never heard of it before this, but I think it may end up playing a big part of this case.
Like everything does to you, Vinny. Vinny can't have an episode where something might play a big part in this case. Yeah, and the sun might not fucking come up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It might not. Wouldn't it be crazy? At least he's not taking all of his money to Vegas like he does with some of his other bets that he claims on television. Because, man, I'd hate to be around when the dude bets all of his money and ends up walking out with empty pockets. My Lord. Right? Thank you so much. Typically. Oh, the coffee cup. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I love my coffee cup. Oh, I'm about half full. But we can't go crazy too late tonight because I'm going off the fucking mobile. It's driving me nuts. I just don't understand why I can't just hit the live button. What's wrong with some internet? Come on, We've had a couple tornadoes come through the last couple summers. Excuse me. And it's done a lot of fucking damage. A couple years ago, we were out without power for like a week because those ones really tore up. I mean, it was nuts. It was like a war zone around here a couple years ago. And ever since then, it's had some issues here and there. But we had some more storms last summer, and ever since then, and then through the spring, it just started to get really bad. And I literally have I even spent my own money, replaced every freaking cable in here, whether it's the freaking network cables or even the freaking cables inside the house. And then they've claimed that they've replaced everything out there. And then the last time that somebody actually said something that seemed fucking legit, they said that there was, I don't know what you call it. I'm not familiar with it. But the thing that supplies the neighborhood itself was fucked up. And so it was like, yeah, it's just going to be one of those things. When they get to fix it, they get to fix it because it's the whole neighborhood thing. And then that's the last time I heard some legitimate fucking shit that made sense. And now it's like, oh, sorry, there's a tree down. Yeah, bullshit. What the hell? I don't know. It's just driving me nuts. It's like, come on, how hard is it to plug a freaking cable cord and then have some damn cable, Even if the speeds drop, whatever. But when the internet just stops and cuts out for minutes to hours, it's like, yo, I can deal with the jumping speeds. I can't deal with the shit cutting off all the time. Yeah, that's right, Aaliyah. I pay my damn bill I pay my bills every freaking month. I'm not always been that way. Like, never. Like, I don't understand it, And I'm not on there screaming and shit. I was today. Damn straight I was today before the show. Damn straight I was screaming, because when I'm being patient this whole time, and then when you tell me, well, the last technician that was out there a week ago never closed a ticket, so we can't tell you what's happening yet. What the fuck? Give me a break. Shit. It's ridiculous.
Yes, obviously.
I shouldn't have to use my damn phone to
what was this
scream.
guy's state of mind? What issues did he have before this? And if he does have neurological conditions, that's going to be something that clearly the defense is going to bring up, and I'm sure the prosecution is going to have to deal with. We're putting the cart before the horse a little bit, because we don't know what the case.
Yeah, Vinny. Putting the fucking cart before the horse.
This is really an interesting and I guess little known condition. I've never heard of it before.
Medallion.
But I think it may end up playing a big part of this case.
Yes, obviously. All of this is going to go to, what was.
I need a medallion and Stetson cologne.
This guy's state of mind? What issues did he have before this? And if he does have neurological conditions, that's going to be something that clearly the defense is going to bring up, and I'm sure the prosecution is going to have to deal with. We're putting the cart before the horse a little bit, because we don't know what the case is, but we do know certain things about what Mr. Koberger used to say online and the things that he used to complain about online.
Absolutely. Steve, great to catch up with you and see you again. I know we'll be speaking again and again.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I bet, because I never saw your ass on Court TV anymore after that. He didn't answer it the way Vinny wanted him to at the end. I have a feeling like this visual snow could mean something huge in this case. And he's like, yeah, well, I mean, we're putting the cart before the horse, Vinny. All right, we're going to be talking to you plenty more. Camera shuts off. Never have this motherfucker on the show again. That's what happened. And I promise I'm not going to swear tomorrow. And I even thought about wearing a tie and a collared shirt. I might. I don't know. We'll see. But I still got to wear the hat, I might wear the hat still, but wear like a shirt and a tie to match. I gotta have the hat, baby. I gotta have the hat. All right.
And
Let's
again,
check out this next yeah, he's like, I'm never having this motherfucker on here again. Producers, no. All right, this one was from 4 months ago. It's where he reveals his alibi. So let me see here. Well, no, I'll be on tomorrow night, detective. I'll be on tomorrow night. I'll be on tomorrow night. I'll be on tomorrow night. A swear jar. Oh, it'd be full. It'd be full. Some nights I don't really swear, and some nights I do. It just really depends on. I don't know. Just I don't know. What does it? Oh, I'm gonna be hanging out with law offices Andrew and D Myers tomorrow afternoon. So I'm like, maybe I should wear like a dress shirt and a tie, but still wear my, because I gotta wear the hat, baby. That's me, you know. That'd be like Dr. Disrespect not wearing a fucking wig. You know what I mean? You can't do it, bro. You cannot not wear the wig, bro. You can't do it. I don't know. I know he said they pre-record and they edit. They pre-record and they edit. Just be me. No, just be me. Just do me. Well, what if well, how about I wear like a red hoodie to match my hat? Would that be better? I'll wear like a red hoodie to match the hat. And then I'll still look like me. But you know, I'll look more like I'll match. So maybe it'll be more professional. Just match. Yeah, the red hat and the red hoodie. All right. Okay. I didn't know. I mean, I know one. I'm not gonna, because that's their platform. Just like if I'm going to Silky or anybody else's platform, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna like swear like that. You know what I mean? Oh, that was last night. Yeah, that show was last night. You guys, if you missed last night's show, go to last night's show. Because, oh my gosh, skip ahead to the hour mark. It's a document, read whatever, or an article. The last 3 hours, that shit, what a night last night. That shit was hilarious. Here, I'll drop the link if you want to save it to your playlist. Yeah, that was hilarious. All right, let's get into this alibi one now. Like I said, this one was only from 4 months ago. What's up, Rock Chalk? Thank you for hopping in. This case, there is a case we should look at. Ryan and Sarah Winman, 2008. Most think he's innocent, but he's doing life. Even her fam thought he was innocent too. Really? Let me write that one down too. I have to organize my notes tomorrow. By the way, I'm not going to be doing a show tomorrow morning. I got the internet company coming out, and then I'm going to be hanging out on the other show, and then I'll be back tomorrow night. So I do plan on, I still get up early in the morning to do work, so I'm probably I got about 6-7 pages of notes I need to organize, so I'm going to I'll definitely check that one out too. And if anybody has anything, is it WIDMAN? And if anybody does have any information or anything they'd like to send, you can send it to me to these links right here. Oh, yeah. chopped liver now. No, Yoli. I would love whatever. I told maybe you didn't hear me earlier, but I was saying when they come on the show, I want because I would really like to have Andrew and Laney on, and then have you on at the same time, Yoli, and have us four do a show together. That's what I would really like to do. Because really, like you know, I think it'd be cool. You got me and Andrew and Laney and Yoli on a show together. I think it'd be really neat. You know, we cover like some kind of, you know, I got so much prep on so many different things. We could cover something and just have a show about it. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be really cool. Do like a giveaway and shit that night. Give away some coffee cups. All right. Brian Koberger reveals his alibi. Now, this is court TV again. I hope that wouldn't that be some shit if Vinny had the same exact suit and tie on in this episode? What do they call 3 strikes in a row? Is that a turkey? It'd be like a Vinny turkey. Are we getting a Vinny turkey tonight? Is it a Vinny turkey?
I'm Vinny Politan. We've got...
What the fuck? Oh my God, are you fucking serious? Oh, shit. I was just fucking playing. I was just fucking playing. He's got this.
Breaking news tonight. Put on your seatbelt.
Is this really fucking happening? No fucking way. No way. Yeah, I'm here. What the fuck? The video. You gotta be shitting me. I need to write. It's the 12th. It's the fucking. This is crazy, y'all. I can't believe this shit. How? I'm just kidding. I'm like, yeah, Vinny Turkey. There's no way in hell. Son of a bitch. 3 episodes in a row, y'all. Write this down in the books. 12/12/23. The night that we had a Vinny Turkey. Holy fucking shit.
Belts, get ready. You're not going to believe it. You are not going
The
to
Vinny
believe
Turkey.
it, folks. In the biggest case that we're tracking across the country, out in Moscow, Idaho, the mass murder of those 4 1,000% innocent college students from the university. The defendant. We talked a little bit before last week about, they may have an alibi. We think they may have. No. Today they file an actual alibi. Filing.
It's crazy.
Where he was at the time of the murders. Now, understand that an alibi is, to me, anyone who's innocent, right? Not anyone, but I would say 98% of people who are wrongfully accused are factually innocent should be able to provide an alibi. Like, it couldn't have been me because I was doing X, Y, and Z, and A, B, and C can tell you about that, or this video can tell you about, like the alibi takes you away from the scene of the crime. It puts you somewhere else. It makes it impossible for you to have committed the crime, right? Every episode of Law and Order, the old show, the original Law and Order, that's the first thing we know. Does he have an alibi? Every time they came across a suspect, did he have an alibi? Did he have an alibi?
Crazy.
Does the alibi check out, right? If the alibi checks out, they move on to the next suspect. So, time for me to reveal what this alibi is. Again, you're not.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Take a look.
I'm sorry. I can't take this shit serious right now. All I can think about is going to the store, getting me a navy blue suit jacket. I already got, well, that's probably ruined from the damage, but I'd have to go get me a white fucking dress shirt and a navy tie. Son of a bitch, this is crazy. I can't take him seriously right now.
Mr. accused murderer
I can't take
has long had a habit of going for drives alone.
I can't
Often he would go for drives at night.
Oh my
He
God.
did so late on November 12th and into November 13th, 2022. The accused mass murderer is not claiming to be at a specific location at a specific time. At this time, there's not a specific witness to say precisely where the accused mass murderer was at each moment of the hours between late night November 12th, 2022 and early morning November 13th, 2022. He was out driving during the late night and early morning hours of November 12th to 13th of 2022.
Oh my God.
All night, just driving.
Okay, Vinny.
Oh, wow. Shit. Let me bring in Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter joining us on the phone with all these breaking details on her night off. Chanley, great to speak.
Oh, shit.
All night, just driving.
Oh, come on now.
Wow. Let me bring in Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter joining us on the phone with all these breaking details on her night off. Chanley, great to speak with you. Thank you for joining us. I'm looking at this alibi, and it almost strikes me as a bit of an admission here, Chanley.
Okay. Shout out Chanley. I know she's not gonna get sucked into this shit. Oh my Lord. Oh, I needed this tonight. Oh man, I needed this tonight. She ain't gonna listen. This is why I love Chanley. She does a great job, even though she's part of MSM. I think her, Sarah, Zari, Brian Etten, I think they all do a wonderful job.
Absolutely, Vinny. This is huge. We know the evidence that prosecutors have, not only following his cell phone the night of the murders, Vinny, but his white Hyundai Elantra along the path around the times of the murders. And now he's admitting.
Now they have to trust. They have to trust because they have to trust that they're being told the honest truth. Totally get it. Totally get it.
To being out there driving around, Vinny. We've been on the ground there. I've been to all of those locations on the scene. We showed you where he was and the path that he allegedly took. So for him to admit this is it's huge for prosecutors. So this motion where he does reveal part of an alibi is actually an objection to a state's motion to compel him to provide an alibi because there's a
part of an alibi. Then there was talk about the ex parte because they wanted to show the judge the rest of the alibi. Yes, he was driving around. He wasn't around the crime scene during the crime taking place. He was in another area. We want to sit down with you, judge, to show you the rest of the alibi, but we don't want to sit down and show you the alibi when the prosecution is over there. Totally understand that. Because with the way that the prosecution's being shady, I totally understand. I would want to do it the same way. We still haven't heard about that.
There's a time limit in Idaho where alibi is an affirmative defense. You have to let the prosecutors know within a certain amount of time, a specific date, time, who you were with, corroborating witnesses to that alibi. So he's trying to get around that by saying, well, I can't really tell you exactly where I was on the night, but I have a habit of driving around the night. And he says in this motion that corroboration of him not being at the crime scene may come through the cross-examination of state witnesses, and he can't be more specific about what possible witnesses may say or what they won't say. He also says corroboration of not being there may be brought through ex expert witnesses of his own, Vinny. So again, real amorphous, but what a huge admission that he, yes, on the night of the murders, was out driving around.
So you got him in the car that night, all night, right? Without a witness. So he's 1,000% by himself, not with someone else, not calling up a family member or a friend or going to a drive-through. See, that's the thing. Like, if you're out all night, are you gonna get a little hungry or something if you're just out for a casual drive?
And
go somewhere?
and he happens to turn off his phone within a time range that his car, Vinny, is picked up on King Road. We know that from the affidavit, making multiple passes back and forth and then allegedly speeding away. And then his phone comes back on at an area a little bit south of town. And nobody's with him. He is driving alone. And also, then remember what the affidavit said, that his phone is also pinging the next morning at the crime scene. And then also we know that there's no driving around at night after the murders in that area. He doesn't return to that area. So just saying.
So to establish this alibi, it seems he might have to testify to say where he was, or just go by.
She just told you.
This is like an alibi that's not quite an alibi because it doesn't necessarily put him somewhere else, right? It's much more vague that he's just out driving in the car, no one to witness and no specific places. No, he's not claiming to be at a specific location at a specific time, and there's not a specific witness. So it's a very unspecific alibi. Am I reading that right, Chandler?
You're exactly right, Vinny. So, but just the fact that he places himself, maybe, was he not driving his own car? Because we have his own car at the murder scene on surveillance video around the times of the murder. So maybe he wasn't driving his own car. Maybe they'll challenge the cell phone data with their own expert. Maybe that's the expert they're referring to in this because of the tower, attack the towers, covering a larger space than what it is. Who knows, Vinny? But this is definitely a big reveal.
All right, he's got a long habit of these drives, so maybe there's evidence of him doing it many other times. That I don't know. But Chanley, appreciate everyone at home. You must know, Chanley.
Previous times.
What's that?
The affidavit said 12 previous times. Remember, at the around the crime scene.
That's
for those
right.
times when he didn't turn off his cell phone. This time he turned off his cell phone.
So he does have a habit of doing these drives, but he doesn't have the habit of turning off the cell phone for the.
Okay. Why don't they report utilize the tower? Why don't they report it when they refer to the cell? Why don't they refer to it as utilizing the tower that the 1122 property utilizes? He drove by, he used his phone, utilized the same tower that the 1122 property utilized. And when I'm telling you, I utilized the same tower before I even see Moscow, before I even see Idaho sign on the road. I'm in frickin' Pullman. And I'm connecting and utilizing the same tower that the property 1122 uses. One of them. You got different towers out there. You got T-Mobile. You got AT&T. Before you even see Idaho sign, you're connecting to the frickin' towers. Give me a break.
The drives. Chanley, great to speak with you.
I can't admit. I mean, I went to Walmart. I went to A&W. I went to all these different places, and I was utilizing the same fucking tower, y'all. It's Moscow. It's not Chicago.
And everyone at home again.
It's Moscow.
Remember, Chanley, this is her day off, and she's helping us out so much. We appreciate it. Now, as Chanley mentioned, she's been out there. She's been on the ground, and she retraced all these movements. Went through that affidavit, the evidence prosecutors say they have, piece by piece. Let's take a look.
The probable cause affidavit in the case against the accused killer of 4 University of Idaho students pieces together the movements of the suspect vehicle and coordinating cell phone location data beginning in the early morning hours of November 13th. At 2:42 a.m., the affidavit alleges that Brian Kohberger's phone places him likely at his apartment on the WSU campus where he was a PhD student studying and teaching criminology. At 2:44 a.m., Kohberger's vehicle and cell phone are on the move. Police say his white Hyundai Elantra is spotted on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north on Nevada Street at Stadium Way. According to the affidavit, it was here in this area of the WSU campus where surveillance video and Kohberger's cell phone placed him here around 2:47 a.m. According to the affidavit, he spent several minutes in this area where he allegedly turned off his...
Remember when I tell you guys, when I'm showing you that footage and we're driving down that road right there, and I said, okay, up and over to the left, that's where Chanley always stands when she's talking for court TV. You see what I'm saying? Now, you're going to tell me you're going to take surveillance off of one of these buildings back here, but you're not going to take surveillance at this intersection. Bullshit.
his cell phone before heading out of town toward Moscow, Idaho. By 2:53 a.m., Kohberger's white Hyundai Elantra is observed heading in the direction of Moscow, Idaho.
See, before you see "Welcome to Idaho," before you see that Moscow sign, you done connected to the same tower that utilizes 1122. Walmart, over to the left. Restaurants, over to the left. Sports stores, over to the left. Everything on the right-hand side, you're talking university stuff for a little bit. See that stoplight right there? That stoplight right there, you go past that stoplight, and then the first right is when you go by the Kibbe Dome, and you're fucking right at the property within a minute. You don't go driving all over downtown Moscow. You literally get into frickin' Moscow. You go past that first stoplight because there's not a road, and then that one stoplight where you can turn right, boom, you're turning right. You're driving right around the Kibbe Dome, couple little roads, boom, you're right there.
At 3:26 a.m., the affidavit then places Kohberger's vehicle, now in the town of Moscow, in this residential neighborhood on Indian Hills Drive. This happens to be a road directly overlooking the Moscow police.
And it does. It does. You go right around that road, and I can show you guys the footage. You go right around the curve, and then as soon as you go around that curve where it dips down, you look over to the left and you see it right there. But I'm going to tell you something, okay? Unless you're parking, and that's the thing with these roads around here. Maybe I should show you the footage. Because when you're driving down Indian Hills, people, when I'm driving down Indian Hills, where in the hell are you gonna pull off? Unless you go park in somebody's driveway, where in the hell are you gonna pull off to sit there and fucking watch you may be able to drive by. Are you really going to see something?
Moscow, Idaho. At 3:26 a.m., the affidavit then places Kohberger's vehicle, now in the town of Moscow, in this residential neighborhood on Indian Hills Drive.
You can't pull off. I'm sorry. And you're not going to get that good of a visual driving by going 25 miles an hour. You're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to see shit. Because you're going around a curve, you got to focus on the curve so you don't run into something, so you barely even get to look over. It makes no sense. So what?
This happens to be a road directly overlooking the Moscow Police Department. The Elantra is picked up on surveillance video moving west past the 700 block of Indian Hills. At 3:28 a.m., video shows the vehicle on Steiner Avenue at Highway 95 as it made its way towards the King Road neighborhood where the victims lived. Then from 3:29 a.m. to 4:20 a.m., the suspect vehicle, the white Honda Elantra, is observed multiple times on video passing by 1122 King Road during the alleged time of the murders before being seen on video speeding away on Walenta Drive. The probable cause affidavit states.
What? Hold on, what?
Is observed multiple times on video passing by 1122 King Road during.
When was this video taken? Does anybody know? What's up, Red? Does anybody know? Please tell me. Does anybody know when this video's taken? Because I want to point out something to you guys. When in the hell was this video taken?
20 a.m. The suspect.
There's 4 trucks, and they all have frickin' stretched toppers on the backs of the beds. There's 4 fucking trucks there, and they all have toppers on the backs of the beds. Look. You know the toppers that have the button snaps down? Are you fucking serious? Look at this shit. Can somebody find me that see on the top of that black truck? It's either a hard or a fucking button snap fucking topper. And then when you're driving by the next trucks, you can see. Does anybody have this? Can you find me this video? I want to see the full version of this. I need to. What the hell, yo? Why do you have 4 trucks? Is that how the... If this is right after the crime scene, after the crime, is this how they were fucking taken out of the house? Each of them in a damn truck? Is that how nobody knew? Look at this. Topper. There's a topper on this truck too. Whether it's a hard top or a button down, you know, that goes with the bed. It doesn't stick out. There's 4 fucking trucks sitting there. Is that how they took the bodies from the crime scene? No, is that how they took the bodies from the crime scene without anybody knowing? If this is right after, I'm just saying, think about it. 4 fucking trucks. They all have toppers on them. You're not going to haul away a couch, because then you wouldn't have a topper on it. How come nobody knew? Nobody knew when the bodies were taken. Nobody knew when they were gone, where they went. Nobody, right? We didn't even see them take, right? Because they probably had 4 frickin' trucks out there with toppers on them. And then how are you going to know that the truck driving down the street, you know what I'm saying? Because it's got a topper on it, people. It might have been with the big tarp. But I thought the tarp was when they went in there to... That's what I'm saying. Dude, when if... I need to see this full episode. You got 4 frickin' trucks there with toppers on them that are flat. And they're all... Look at that. Look at how they're parked. Come on, yo. Come on, yo. Look. And they all have fucking toppers. You were told they closed the streets and made the press leave? For the mattresses? You think it was the mattresses? A tunnel cover is another name for the toppers. Thank you. It's not a top. You know what I mean? It's not a topper because it doesn't have a. But I don't know what the hell they're called. Yeah, if anybody has this episode, send it to me, please. All right, let's get back to it.
Of the murders before being seen on video speeding away on Walenta Drive. The probable cause affidavit states that the car likely exited the neighborhood at Palouse River Drive and Conestoga Drive, a road that eventually leads to Pullman, Washington. About 2 hours after he allegedly turned off his cell phone, police say Koberger turned it back on here near Blaine, Idaho. It's about 10 to 15 minutes south of Moscow, a rural community off Highway 95, and it has its own cell tower. According to the affidavit, from 4:50 a.m. to 5:26 a.m., Koberger's phone movements show him allegedly moving south towards Genesee, Idaho, and west towards Uniontown, Washington. Koberger may have taken a well-known back road called Thorn Creek Road at this point in his route towards his apartment. These are all very isolated roads, but Thorn Creek Road is known to be even more desolate. Police allege
Right.
Koberger eventually made his drive back into Pullman, Washington from the quiet road of Johnson, where his vehicle was picked up on this security camera, the first time a camera captured his Hyundai after the murders were committed. By 5:30 a.m., police tracked the movements of Koberger's cell phone and vehicle back to his apartment.
So there's the evidence that prosecutors say they have, right? Tracking the white Hyundai Elantra, and his alibi is that he's out for a drive that night. What does this mean? Let's bring the think tank. Join us tonight in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney Eklund Mercy. Also with us in Phoenix, Arizona, the attorney who represented Jodi Arias, Kirk Nurmi, and in Washington, D.C., the attorney who represented Johnny Depp in his defamation case, won the case, and fellow of the American College of Trial Lawyers, Ben Chu, is with us. And before I ask a question, Ben, Kirk, you and Ben are going at it with the jackets tonight. Amazing job. Amazing job.
Right. We're going to step it up, Vinny.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah, and Vinny got the Vinny turkey tonight. He's got the same suit on every episode, 3 in a row.
Start with Eklund Mercy, though. Eklund, this is this
3
an
in a
alibi
row.
or an admission? If your alibi is putting yourself in the white Hyundai Elantra, and that's how they track down this killer through the videos and the cell phone in the car, moving with the car, then the cell phone's turned off, and then the car is seen at the scene, then speeding away. What's going on here?
This is one of those cases in which it's hurry up and prove it prosecution. You want the prosecution to prove their case. They're having to, carry their burden. The officers did a great job with being very detailed, and the prosecutor was being very detailed in the timing and literally setting it up for an alibi. So if he doesn't give one, the only thing that he can do is literally poke holes in the prosecution's argument. They did a really good job of actually placing the car. Now it's going to be literally, they probably did not give him an offer. So there's no pleading in this case. So the only option is to go to trial. At this point, you just force the prosecution to prove their burden.
So Kirk, am I missing something here? if your alibi puts you in the white Hyundai Elantra, and it's the white Hyundai Elantra that's like circling around the crime scene and speeding away from the crime scene, is this really an alibi that I was going for a drive by myself to no specific location at no specific time with no specific independent witnesses?
No, as I was reading along there, I said this is more of an admission than an alibi. And it made me, look, the responsibility of a criminal defense attorney in a capital case, they're immense and intense. But the number one goal of that criminal defense attorney in that representation of death penalty case is to preserve their client's life. And I don't see how this does that. This doesn't really constitute an alibi to me. It's more of an admission that some of the state's evidence is accurate. It doesn't really make any sense to me. So, if their focus should be on things that save his life, and things like this, these partial admissions, they just go further because you extrapolate this out and say he's got this habit of doing this. Well, the state can come back and say, look, he was stalking, he was preying, he was looking for victims, he found the victim. This makes it look all the worse in terms of the preservation of his life when you get to that sentencing phase. So to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense what's going on here for Mr. Kohlberger's attorneys.
Yeah, Ben, Kirk makes a great point here, talking about has a long habit of going for drives. Yeah, all the drives that were done driving around and near the scene of the mass murder, before the mass murder, seems to prove premeditation and planning more than, hey, I just go for drives.
Yeah, Vinny, it reminds me of that expression, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. I mean, this seems to be a non-alibi.
There you go. All right. Ben Chu, Kirk Nermy, Eklund Mercy, they're with us the whole hour.
Oh, shit. All right. That's jumping to something that where in the hell? How come I'm not on freaking camera? There we go. All right, that was jumping to something else that I wasn't even trying to go to. Let's see how much time we got left. Let's see, and I was going to go to this one. How long is this one? This is 16. Well, I was going to go to this nugget from November 19th from Vinny, but I'm going to give Vinny a break. He already had the trifecta, the turkey. We had the Vinny turkey. I think we're good for that. So we're already hit over 3 hours. Normally I would go a little bit later tonight, about another half hour or so. But considering with the internet stuff, we'll just go ahead and end the night tonight. Like I said, I'm going to be having the cable people come tomorrow. Then I'll be over at law offices of Andrew there in the afternoon, and then I'll be back tomorrow night. So I'm not sure, because I won't be on in the morning. Maybe I'll get on earlier in the evening and have a longer show until normal time when I usually end. So I'll definitely put out a link. I won't have one. Well, I'll just go ahead and put one out for normal time tomorrow night. And then, if there's any changes, I'll make sure. If there's any changes, I'll make sure to go type any of the changes in the stream chat before the show. So if there's any updates or anything, I'll go ahead and type it in there if we're going to be bumping it back or bumping it up even. You might even see me live before the time's supposed to start. It just all depends on how it all goes tomorrow, and then the other stuff that I got to get done. So I want to say thank you all for hanging out tonight. Thank you for hanging out earlier. Sorry the internet's been shit. Yeah, I might go hit up the lounge here in a little bit, but I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow night. And if you didn't check the highlight out, go ahead and go to the video section. Check that out. We'll see you at Harsh's live tomorrow. We'll be over there. Shout out Harsh Reality. Appreciate all your hard work. Can't wait for that. and then we'll see you guys tomorrow night. So really, I'll probably just keep the same, because Harsh's live is, let me see here. Let me share that link real quick. Let me go to Harsh and we'll share his live link. We'll just go ahead and get notified right now. I'm going to go ahead and keep it the same time, because usually with him going live at this time, usually when I hit the 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern mark, that's usually a pretty good time to go live after his shows are done. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just set it for 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern tomorrow night. And we'll be hanging out over here at Harsh. Definitely hit the like button, hit the notification bell. And we'll see you there tomorrow. And then after that, we'll be hanging out over here. So thank you all. I appreciate you guys. If you missed last night's show, definitely. That was a great show, too. And tonight was, too. Thank you, everybody, for just the great shows. I appreciate you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. And then we'll be getting into this body cam deep dive in a couple nights here. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Peaceful and positive evening. And I might be going to the lounge in a little bit. We'll see. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.